Good morning, Wolfpack. My name is Eric Webb, the NCSU Weather Center. You can see behind me, this is another picture of ENSO, this time La Nina. And in fact, we'll be seeing a La Nina move in over the next year or so as the ongoing El Nino begins to weaken. Now, looking at the upcoming week ahead, we see our headlines on some unsettled weather, obviously coming later on in the week. But before then, we'll be having nice and very warm weather to start off the week, and then turning a little bit cooler and seasonable as we get around toward Wednesday and Thursday. Now, looking at the satellite picture across the Carolinas right now, very beautiful. Obviously, not a cloud in the sky really across the whole area. The closest clouds here are well off to the west over the Tennessee, Mississippi valleys. A few extra clouds, obviously, also well off to the south and east over the Atlantic, but nothing really significant to speak of. You can see the water vapor satellite across the country. You can see this big upper-level low sitting over the central Rockies. This is going to slowly progress to the east-north, northeast over the area, and will begin to weaken, but it will give us a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms as we get in toward Friday. Class by class forecast for the upcoming day, you can see temps starting out very comfortable in the morning, around 70 degrees, and warming up into the mid-80s as we get later on in toward the afternoon. Climo's corner here now. On this date back in 1983, a really strong storm struck North Carolina and produced up to 2 inches of snow here in the Triangle, with as much as 6 in parts of the mountains. You can see this really big coastal low forming off the Carolinas. And then, of course, you can see this is the 500 millibar height pattern, really deep trough over the eastern United States. Very classic-looking west-based negative NAO with a positive height anomaly sitting generally around Baffin Bay and just to the southwest of Greenland. Now, looking at, of course, at the previous Climo's corner, I mentioned that there was a really strong snowstorm that hit North Carolina in late March of 1983. That was also during the Super Nino of 82-83. Well, we're also currently in a Super Nino that's, of course, weakening. And you can see here from the International Research Institute, this is the probabilistic ENSO forecast. So the blue colors there, that is La Nina, green's neutral, red is El Nino. We're currently in an El Nino, but this is going to weaken as we go on later into the spring, and we're eventually going to transition into a La Nina probably around mid to late summer, and then see that La Nina strengthen as we go into the upcoming year, and perhaps even last into 2017 and maybe even 2018. Now, this is the current sea surface temperature pattern across the globe. This is actually forecast for November. You can see this is from the National Multi-Model Ensemble, and this is projecting a pretty decent La Nina to develop out here in the tropical Pacific, but you see around in the Atlantic this really cool patch of water stretching from Greenland down the west coast of Europe and Africa. This is associated with what's called a cold AMO, and that typically tends to be associated with pretty inactive hurricane seasons overall. You can actually see here, this is from Colorado State University, their hurricane season forecast for the upcoming year. Near normal numbers are predicted. Those are in the highlighted here in yellow. 13 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and 2 majors are projected for the upcoming year. Now, of course, speaking of the tropics, on this day in 2003, subtropical storm Ana formed in the Atlantic just to the southwest of Bermuda. Attained winds of 60 miles per hour before it headed off to the northeast. It's the only storm to form in the Atlantic during the month of April. Now, taking a look at the frontal analysis here over the United States, see high pressure developing and dominating the weather here over the southeastern United States. This is going to slowly begin to progress off toward the east, but this frontal boundary here, notice, is not going to move a whole lot, and will be stuck generally over the upper Mississippi Valley. This cool front here that's developed over the northeastern United States, that's going to progress down toward our south, give us a few extra clouds, but otherwise not a huge change in the weather, other than the fact that temperatures will cool off slightly as you go into Wednesday and Thursday. So today's forecast, high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny and warm, winds light out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Into tonight, mostly clear, mild, winds out of the south at 5 to 10, temperatures in the mid 50s. Into tomorrow, though, that cold front's going to pass us. We're going to see temperatures coming down a little bit toward more seasonable levels, high around 76, winds shifting a little bit out of the east-northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at the week ahead, here again today, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. As we get in toward Wednesday and Thursday, cooling off a little bit, more seasonable-like weather. And of course, as you get toward Friday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms will arrive. But then by next weekend, we should be nice and dry with temps in the mid-70s. Now, looking at what's going to happen beyond this period, as we get in toward early May, you can see a big ridge developing, of course, over Baffin Bay and over Greenland. Another negative NAO, but a nice little trough will begin to develop, of course, over the southwest United States and Texas, giving them a lot more rain. In fact, here that is also reflected in the Climate Prediction Center's week 3 to 4 temperature forecast for early May. You can see temperatures above normal over the eastern United States, north central plains, northern Rockies, and below normal temperatures are projected over the southwest United States and Texas, where they're going to be expecting a lot of rain.